Delighted to be here with you. Honored to be in front of such an august gathering in September. After your lunch, you put in so much of energy to be here. We had some wonderful speakers. We have some very distinguished guests. Please give yourself a very, very big hand. Wake up. We have some phenomenal leaders on the panel. And I'm a man, and these are ladies, women. And the topic of discussion is women. Dangerous. So I have to ask some questions. And we have these wonderful lady leaders, LL, who will share their L learning with us, which we will L love. Some of the topics that I'd like to talk about, please. We had a chance to talk, Revathi, Cristina, we had a chance to talk, Annabella, we never spoke because the last minute you were told about this, but we'll wing it, we'll do something. Yeah? The topics that come to my mind are this, before I ask specific questions. Number one, are women different from men? In terms of leadership, in terms of merit, in terms of mindset. So it's broadly going to be on this. Yeah? And these days, the world is going crazy with this man-woman thing. No? They have all kinds of ideas. So just to involve you a little bit before we involve the panelists, the experts, are men and women different in their thinking? Those who say yes, raise your hand, please. Okay, interesting. In their thinking, in their way of thinking, are men and women different in their abilities? In their abilities, can men learn what women know? Can women learn what men know? Yeah. What is your? If you say yes, only then you answer your hand. If you're totally confused, by now, no problem. Okay, great. So these are some of the things that we'll be discussing. I want to share with you one very, very quick thing before we begin. In fact, I'll put this question to you, Revathi. I saw a YouTube video when they said men and women are very different in their minds. Man's brain has boxes, as an analogy. And everything that the man does is very simple, black and white. They put it into boxes, and then they have one other box, which is a nothing box. So men can sometimes sit down and do nothing. But women are very different. This is what I saw in the video. So women have like wires, mixed up, all of them one against the other. One thing. And if you ask one thing, then you can go on to many, 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 many other things. So is there a fundamental difference between men and women in their way of thinking or in their ability? What's your opinion, please?
Very good afternoon to all of you. I think definitely, Avinash, there is a difference in the way we think. All right? I don't know about the wires and the boxes, but I certainly know that the way they function also can be very different because it comes as an outcome the way they think. However, if you're talking about leadership,
yes.
I would like to say that there are no men leaders and women leaders. To me, leadership is just one, right? How you perceive it and how do you conduct it and how do you make an impact in your organization, that may vary. But I don't definitely want to draw a distinction between men and women. I think that, there's no gender there. For me, leadership is
so success has nothing to do with sex.
Not at all. Not at all.
Gender it's merit, not gender. Is that right?
Yes, it is meritocracy that matters. It's the skill set that matters. It is our mindset that makes the difference. How much, I think any leader, the kind of statement of purpose if they have very clearly and sense of purpose, then they have a skill set that will go towards making that purpose possible and bringing the right outcomes. The kind of mindset that you need, a parachute-like kind of thing that just opens up and willing to accept any kind of change. I think that will definitely bring in kind of an outcome that is worth seeing. So I don't think that it's about men and women when it comes to it. Yes, but the way we think is very different. The way we act. For example, I give you one thing that women can show more empathy than men. I would definitely say that. They're transformational leaders naturally. All right? So that's why they take people along with them. So I see that happening. But it doesn't mean you can draw a clear-cut division between men and women. I think leaders are leaders, and good leaders make an impact. And it's about good leadership, it's about strong leadership. It's not about men and women leadership.
Please give her a very, very big hand. Thank you very much. How many of you agree with this way of thinking? Can I see a show of hands? Just so that we can trigger something if there are many people who disagree. Okay? Interesting. Thank you so much, Revathi. Would any of you like to add to this? Would you like to add to this, Cristina, or you want me to give you a new question?
Yes. No, I totally agree that indeed it's not because we are talking about men and women, it's just about what are the purpose of the leaders. So there are leaders that prioritize power, business result before the people empowerment, and this is what makes the difference, the perception, the empathy. What is the driver behind the person? Is the emotion or is the rationality? Can be both, can be the emotion taking over to the rationality or the other way around. So it's really not about male or female, it's more about personality and what is the driver and the strategy of it there.
So if you take forward from what we had discussed earlier of what are the business factors or what are the personality factors, I'm going to ask you a few questions. See, the last speaker just mentioned about the idea of purpose. Mr. Ajay, you spoke about that you should have the will to be coached. So, purpose or the will, ability or the skill, and the ability to keep calm or be peaceful, that's the thrill or the chill. If you have all of these three, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, you will still succeed. That is your contention. Is that correct? Yeah? Okay. And you say, Cristina, that men and women think a little differently because ladies have more empathy and what else?
Yes, from my personal experience, I see that in many business teamwork, it is important to have the cooperation of the female element just because it can bring a diversity in creativity, empathy, especially when we are talking about technical environment. Technical environment dominated by male or employees usually tend to have one path thinking. If you can add an element that can bring creativity, can bring thinking outside the box, can judge what is the line or what is the strategy, most of the time you could find alternative solution to overcome certain problems. And I found this an adding value, create a new value inside an organization, therefore an opportunity more than a problem sometimes.
Thank you, Cristina. Please give her a very, very big hand. She's saying women are better, I'm translating, in creativity, in empathy, in innovation, and it's good to bring diversity. This is what she's saying. However, she agrees with David. Right? You want to say something else? The microphone.
I said the same thing. I mean, I think
Yes.
it's about bringing in diversity, and it's all about diverse perspectives.
Sure.
So it's a perspective that we're looking at, and various kind of suggestions and perspectives will add to good decision making.
But the
in any
decision should be based
organization.
on meritocracy, not based
Yes,
on any other factor.
not at all.
Lovely,
That's
lovely. What about Annabella? What about what do you think? Would you think that men are better suited for some jobs, women are better suited for some jobs, and women cannot learn what men have, men cannot learn what women have? What is your opinion on that, based on your own experience?
Yes.
I just want to share with you something very interesting. Revathi's experience is as an educationist, and she said also something very interesting. When you hire somebody as a leader, it doesn't matter whether they're a man or a woman, it depends on their abilities and expertise. She said one more thing, don't think that we who are in the education sector are different from those who are in the corporate sector. Yeah? So she's all about putting things together in a formula that works regardless of industry, gender. It's all about purpose, capability, and relaxation. Lovely, lovely. Annabella is a very, very interesting person. Designer, one of the top designers in UK, and construction builder. Yeah. So, is it building supposed to be for men? Is it design supposed to? I don't know. I'm just asking. What do you think?
First of all, thank you, Avinash. I heard three very important words today in here. Sustainability.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, sustainability.
It's sustainable.
Sustainability, trust, and accountability. I say these words because they're important to me, and now you understand why. I'm going to tell you my story. I am a product designer and interior architect, and I started working in London for 7 years as a designer and project manager, and I was in the hands of the main contractors for 7 years. And the amount of issues I had was almost uncountable. Sorry, and so you have to repeat now. And after 7 years of doing design and project management, I almost changed job because I couldn't make a living. It was just absolutely, clients were unhappy, everything was going wrong all the time. I was at the moment, and you say, I either leave the job or I come up with something else. And I said, from one evening to the next day, I said, I will become the main contractor myself. Next day, I employed the best people that I had, and from then on, I've been doing design, project management, and construction. I am, in the UK, probably the only business that does this, and it's run by women. We take responsibility for everything we do, and there's no blame, there's nobody else to be blamed for any client. So wherever anything goes wrong in a whole refurbishment and design project, which includes a lot of aspects, there's nobody to be blamed. So this is why I think that the accountability, responsibility to deliver what you love to do is what drives anyone, man or female. Women we are sort of multitask. Yeah, we tend to be able to think different things at the same time. I think in an advantage to men. And also we are we have a lot of empathy. So
You have what?
empathy.
More than that.
I think so, yes. And this helps, with the relationship with the people you work with, and we tend to have less ego on site. I employ 20, 30 people on site, and there's always arguments all the time. We are able to let them respect, each other and themselves.
So you say that there's no difference between men and women. Women can learn every job that man can do also. And plus women are better because they are more empathetic, they have less ego, they're better collaborators, better relationship. So women are better, basically.
No, there's great men who do great work. I work with great engineers, structural engineers, digital engineers, and I love working with them. But sometimes I find that women have an added value in the way we respect each other, in the way we tend to protect the client's best interest. I want the project done in the best way possible. Many times I even lose money for the interest of the client.
Please give her a very, very big hand. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Debbie, would you like to add to this?
Thank you.
Would you like me to ask you a separate question, or would you like to comment on what they did?
I think I'd like to just add my own comment, listening to the other ladies. I agree with what you said initially regarding that, really men and women are no different when it comes to leadership, because leadership is all about ability, not gender. But what I'd like to add to this is I first came to the UAE 30 years ago to establish my very first company. And over this time, I'm now a global international leader, and I run a global consultancy, business consultancy. And a division of this consultancy, we also have a division called Corporate Minds, where we work with other leaders and also developing leaders of tomorrow. So leaders that are not quite there, are on the road and need coaching and should be working alongside leaders. So what I found over many years, working around the world globally across many industries that can be known as male dominant and so on, and we've worked with leaders, female leaders in male dominant industries. And when we work together, what I always try to get back to is I sometimes find that women, dare I say, without every woman shooting me before I leave today, but sometimes it can be a little bit of lack of confidence as well in women. Because the first point is always, when you listen to their needs, is always, but is it because I'm a woman and the man have more power and so on? So we start with really, it's like an onion, and you have to start peeling the layers back, building the confidence and reminding them that a great leader is not whether you're a man or a woman, it's your skill set, your ability and your confidence.
Brilliant. Please give her a very, very big hand. So she says, glass ceiling is okay. First, break that ceiling in your own mind, that you are any less than anyone else. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you shared.
Most welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else? I have a few questions, please. You want to share something, Revathi? Please.
I'd like to add over here that you brilliantly put across. It's all about a guilt that we carry, or element of less confidence. That and it also comes from an environment that we grew up in, perhaps. That makes a lot of difference. It comes from the community that you are in, the society that sees you. So I can see what it has happened and how women have evolved over a period of time in India. And I can see the divide between the women from the rural segment who have come up and people from the urban segment who have come up. So you can't sort of generalize women as such. We have to try and understand what circumstances they were in and how they have risen. And to that extent, they need that confidence and that backing. So I think it's very important that we look at it from that side. And I don't know why, but they always look for a reassurance, oh, you've done a great job. Which I think they don't need. The reassurance has to come from within. That tells you that you're right on the right path, you're going to achieve it, and that's it. So it's that belief in oneself that we need to build. We don't need courage to climb the Kilimanjaro. You need courage to break barriers in your mind. You need courage to be able to stand up for yourself for the belief that you have. I think that's important.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Of course.
Yes, just one more thing. As a designer and builder, I've learned to, I forced myself in that position, but I started designing in order to build, and I started designing in a very different way, in a lot more essential way, more sustainable way. This is why I think that it is important to train men and women, but in this case, in my case, it would be women, to be more aware of the construction, of the physical construction in the building site. Because when they design, they will design differently. And this will have an impact on sustainability, on waste. And this is all generated by the mindset of how you impose yourself when you sit down and design a project. I meditate every day, and every day I look at myself in the mirror, and then what is the purpose of me designing today? And it's not just about making money, it's about making a client happy in the best way possible. But that also has to incorporate, the way we build, the way we design, the way we build, the way we maintain, the way we commission and run a property. This is why everything needs to go together. This is why I say multitasking, because so many things go together in a building site. This is why design and construction together is something which I want to promote, and planning to create a master class for that, to train professionals in knowing better the phases that connect different stages of construction. Because knowing that, you can resolve so many issues for a professional and the clients, of course.
Sure. Thank you so much. Please give them a very, very big hand before I ask them another dangerous question. Okay? The dangerous question is this. Leadership. I mean, the individual is one, right? Whether you're at work or whether you're at home. So, do you agree with that? The ways may be different, but the individual is the same. So whether it's a man or a woman, you're a leader. Do you have any tips for the ladies here on how they can deal with their husbands? Huh? Or do you have any tips on how they can deal with their bosses? Huh? Or colleagues who are troubling them, men, especially men? Huh? Do you have any tips on that? Important question, right? Yes or no? Yes. Very important. See?
I believe in investing in relationships. I think it's it's very important for us to give our time and a year for every member of the family, because there will be a time when they give you the year and the time. So it's always returned. So I think it's very important for us to be able to spend time with our family, even the family at workplace. I always say this to my faculty, that we spend almost 75% of our work time or of our life in our workspaces. And if that 75% we don't make it a happy place, then what are we doing? So I think it's about investing time.
So you're saying make the man happy make the family happy by spending time with them.
Yes.
Some people make you happy when they are with you. Some people make you happy when they go away.
If I believe in one thing, Avinash, no matter what the chaos is outside, one should learn to find peace within oneself.
I love that.
Okay, no matter what the chaos. So the family can be fighting, the staff room can be full of people who are having ego issues, but you should find peace within yourself. Then when you are a happy person, you'll spread happiness around.
Very nice. Please give her a big hand. Very quickly, anything you want to say on how to handle husbands or bosses or men? For the women, for the ladies.
I think what is very important is the communication. When you have a good communication at home, you have a good communication at work, you can understand each other, overcome two issues, and find solution for any
So communicate
situation.
more.
Communicate.
Thank you very much. You're a big hand. Anything you'd like to say on dealing with men?
So again, this actually is covered quite a lot through the psychology of what we work with a lot in corporate minds, because in leadership, in business, and in home as well, you have to have that life balance.
Sure.
And again, it cannot just be the women pleasing the man, it has to be both ways. So it's a psychological balance between both male and female united together, which will lead to the success, not one-sided anymore.
Got it. Are relationships like business? Yes or no? Just a perception. It could be, there's no right or wrong. Think about it. I'll leave you with this very interesting question. Relationships, are they like business? For example, you give, I give, you take, I take, both have to please each other, or in any other way. How many of you feel relationships are like business? Raise your hand. If they are, if you feel they are, raise your hand. Okay, very interesting. We have two hands going up. Yeah. Yes. One second. How many of you feel relationships? Oh, I love the hands at the back. How many of you feel relationships are not like business? Raise your hand. Amazing. Those of you, yes, say.
Business is like relationships.
Oh, I love it. How?
Because when you understand your relationships, you can work with them.
When you understand the relationships, you can do the business better. Please give her a very, very big hand. It's a very interesting question. We are not going to cover it in detail. We'll do it in other workshops or somewhere. All I'm saying is there are three types of relationships. One, lowest level is take. Everybody wants to take. Second level is give and take. Third level is give. Okay? When you reach that level of trust, when you reach that level of understanding, when you reach that level of confidence that you were talking about, then you just give your best, and those who give will get automatically.
And in
Thank you for
terms
triggering
of,
this.
I just add one thing
Please.
to that in terms of while we're on this subject of a relationship, and I'm definitely not a relationship expert, but I am a business leader expert. But for a successful relationship, as you're discussing, it should be not even 50-50, it should be 100-100.
That's what I'm saying. That's the top level. Thank you. Give her a very big hand. Thank you. Thank you. Respect. Very nice. So with respect, we will close this one panel discussion. We spoke about women. We spoke about the power of women. If I have to summarize, we start by saying that believe in yourself. Okay? First thing you need to do is believe in yourself. Then what you need to do is develop the expertise for the job or whatever you need to do. Play every role with excellence. Don't listen to negativity coming from outside. And we say that you need to have peace within, have happiness within. I did a conference in Abu Dhabi on the 5th of this month, organized by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India. And the program was on sustainability. So I said sustainability, and it was on ESG and corporate governance, and it was on the ozone layer and AI and the effect. So now I teach leadership and happiness. So I said, how can I connect what I do with that? My name is Avinash Ananda. Avinash means indestructible. Okay, at least sustainable. Okay. Ananda is bliss. Okay, at least happiness. So sustainable happiness. If each one of us can create that climate in our mind, and don't let that ozone, the gaps come in the mind. Close it. Okay? Don't pollute the mind. If we keep ourselves confident, we keep ourselves happy, automatically we spread that happiness around us. But at the same time, we need to do it strategically. Don't give to someone who only takes. You know, we also have to be situational leaders. Oh, I'm a giver. You give, you become doormat. So set your boundaries. Have the confidence, believe in yourself, everything is about merit, and there's nothing that no one cannot do. Right? Thank you very, very much. Please give them a very, very big hand. One last thing for those who didn't get anything. Because people are saying, so many talks. There was this man who was walking up and down like this. Okay? This is about how women are smarter. Man is walking up and down like this. 3 o'clock in the morning, and I finish in 30 seconds. 3 o'clock in the morning, he's walking up and down. He says, his wife, who's very clever, wise, she's in the bed, 3 o'clock in the morning. She says, what happened? Nothing. You know, people when they say nothing, that means there's something. He said, tell me what happened. My friend, give me a name. What's your name? Aryan. My friend Aryan, I owe him 10,000 dirhams, dollars, what do you want? Dollars. I owe him $10,000. I have to give him tomorrow morning. I don't have $10,000 to give him tomorrow morning. Okay? So, but I told him I'll give him, but I don't have, so I'm very worried. I'm walking up and down. Wife is very clever. She says, give me Aryan, give me Aryan's number. So she calls Aryan and says, Aryan, my husband cannot give you $10,000 tomorrow morning. Good night. And she keeps the phone down. Okay? She says, now you come and sleep. It's Aryan's turn to walk up and down. Okay? Don't make everything into a big problem. We are here getting awards, clapping for each other, enjoying something, learning, sharing, and learning from the lovely, wise ladies. Thank you very, very much. Give them a big hand. Thank you.